Okay, Natalie, what were you just saying?
I was saying that each step, it's like you read, the book and the workbook, and you tell us, what to do. But till you get to that step, it's like you don't really get it. You have to actually physically do it and go through it.
The second phase.
Yeah.
Or P3, where you're like following hunger and you have to trust it.
Yes, exactly. And trust it. And, coming in now, being done with maintenance, I wouldn't have believed that I was down 2 pounds of fat.
Well, here's the thing. Do you mind if I tell them your stats?
Oh, yeah, not at all.
So, just so that you guys know, Natalie, when she came in to the clinic, she was 183 pounds and had 67 pounds of fat on her body. Okay. Today she's 160 and she has 47.9. So she lost 20 pounds of fat. Her LIW, or last day of the protocol, what did you weigh? Like
158.5.
She was 158.5. Today she's 160.5. She's lost inches, she's lost 2 pounds of fat, and her lean body mass is up 4 pounds, which is typical because of weight in food and fluid retention. So even though her weight is up, she's losing. So to obsess over the scale is just stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just stupid. Anyways.
Exactly.
But you trusted the process. When I said, you've been diet disordered since you were like 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So we're dealing with 30 years of dieting.
Yeah.
On and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. And what has this done?
For one, the trust in myself, trust the process, and trust myself, and it's gotten rid of so much bullshit. Like even the gluten thing, I was getting off of gluten because my allergies were so bad, and I would be stuffy 24/7 if I ate it, and I thought, well, I just can't have gluten. And I remember you telling me, well, that may change when you're done with this. And I thought, no, Robin's just crazy, And so I started adding back in glutens, since I've been off maintenance.
Relative to hunger, though.
Yeah, relative to hunger, exactly.
Okay, because that's a very important part of this. A lot of times people don't listen to hunger and they have a reaction, because if you weren't listening to hunger, even if without the fat, you'd still have a reaction to that gluten. Yeah. However, because you're so finely tuning yourself with hunger, you're eating that and not having an inflammatory reaction.
Yeah, and I didn't. And that just blew my mind. Like, I cannot believe that I wasn't, sneezy, stuffy, and all this stuff that used to happen.
Just so you know, you are not the only person that I've seen this happen with. Okay. That's why I was like, oh, I wouldn't be surprised if that goes down. Because I've seen it time and time and time again. Mm-hmm. But anyhow.
Yeah. And the other thing is, adding back in alcohol is something that I was scared about. Because I thought that, well, when I drink, I eat a lot. And I had said that for years. And now I can sit here and tell you that's such bullshit. I didn't eat a lot when I drank. I ate a lot because I was still emotionally eating. And the alcohol was an excuse. I would go, oh, it's because I'm drinking. I feel like eating all this, and I'm going to because I'm drinking.
And I'll have a diet tomorrow.
Yeah, that was a justification and a crutch, where I've had alcohol, and no, as long as I use hunger, even with the drinking, when I'm drinking, it's like, okay, is there hunger there? And I find I'm actually eating less when I'm drinking. So if I go out to dinner, I've had a couple glasses of wine, I'm eating less food.
Well, yeah, because wine is food.
Yeah.
It's food with bennies, okay?
Exactly. And not feeling that compulsion to then, oh, let's order a pizza, or oh, let's, whatever. That's just gone. And that was one of my prior, I enjoy a cocktail and I really like wine, but I was always so afraid to do it because I knew it would lead to some binge eating, and now it's not.
So that was a huge vulnerability for you, and one of the main things when you went into this, you let yourself go into it knowing that you were going to test what I was teaching you.
Exactly.
Because you didn't know what the outcome was going to be.
No, a lot. Most of what you said I agreed with, and I'm like, okay, in theory, but in all honesty, I did not completely believe it and trust it till I got to that point, and then I tested it, whether it was with the alcohol or adding in the gluten or adding
sugar.
In starches and sugar. And I'll be darned that you were right. As long as I stay with the hunger scale, it's fine.
Now, did you notice that those foods remove hunger very quickly?
Which foods?
starches and sugar.
Yeah.
It's just that it takes it away quicker.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. And then you didn't have an impulse to eat excessively once you had it in there, even if it tasted magnificent.
I didn't. I've had a couple bites of a dessert, which in my life I've never done a couple bites of a dessert.
Okay, so here's the other thing. Since you don't have guilt and you're not judging food anymore, there's less guilt, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how often have you had guilt during this process?
Well, in the beginning, as I worked through it, I had a lot of guilt.
Yeah, but in the real world,
now I don't have any guilt.
And so what has that done to your choice of food?
I want good food. I don't want to waste my hunger on just, even like I was telling you, I'm so enjoying Caesar salad right now and Parmesan cheese. I would take that over pecan pie, which was one of my favorites. But I'm so enjoying, the taste, and like we talked about, the blue cheese and avocado and almond butter. Almond butter and an apple is so good.
So the crap you were eating before isn't even like...
No, it's not even good. I've tried it. Because again, I wanted to test myself. So I had a bite of pecan pie. Oh, it's really good, but I cannot imagine. Like people, I know people who've said, oh, I can't eat a whole piece of pecan pie. It's just too sweet and filling. I used to be like, bitch, please. Who are you showing off for? Because I could, and now I can't. It does. It's too much. It's good.
You just got back from Hawaii.
No, I'm going to Hawaii on the 10th.
Okay. So, how do you feel about that?
Really good. And when I started this, I was nervous about going back to Hawaii, because the eating and the food and the drinking.
And the vacation mentality, which is usually eat your face. And you're probably not going to do it now.
No, because, the other day I had eaten too much of a veggie wrap and I felt so gross and full that I'm like, oh.
Wasn't worth it, was it?
No. I'm like,
and
no,
it was because
I want to enjoy it.
In that you got full because... What was the why? What was the reasoning behind you getting that fullness?
Oh, you mean...
Yeah, tell us how you got there.
Oh, I was having lunch with my sister, and we were chatting. I wasn't paying attention, so I wasn't being self-aware with what was going on with my body. I was just totally engaged in what she was saying and she was doing. And then I realized, whoa, I'm actually full right now, which means in 20 minutes I'm going to be stuffed.
Yeah, this is so important that this isn't that wasn't an emotional decision.
No,
that's not necessarily emotionally. Exactly. And so if you're, again, rationing food out of cataclysm, you would have been so conscious about that food. But because we don't have limit in food, you have to make the intrinsic decision that you're going to eat only enough for hunger to go away, not a bite more.
Yeah, and
so
it's
you have to be conscious of that decision. It is a learned behavior, and that's why I love the practice of it in phase 1, or that very low calorie protocol, and then the test of it in 2, and then the reality of it.
Exactly. And I do have to work at it. Each time I eat, I have to focus and pay attention. But it doesn't mean I don't I'll still eat and watch TV. Which for some people, I think that whole diet mentality will never eat while you're watching TV.
If you're freaking hungry.
Yeah, if I'm hungry.
And you just have to be skilled at it. It requires skill.
I have to pay attention, so I'll actually focus on my body and go, okay, where am I at? But it takes a second and a half. I don't miss anything. I do it during commercial breaks.
Have you been okay with having food left over?
Yeah, and I didn't think I would be.
And you're totally fine because you realized it.
Yeah. I put back small amounts of yogurt even and just put it back in the thing because I'm like, wow, I'm not hungry anymore.
And before you would have just said, well, just finish it up.
Exactly. Yeah. And I do have to work at that. I still have to consciously work at it because sometimes it is easy to just, I'll finish it or it's good. And I go, nah, I'm not hungry. I'll put it away. And, sometimes, I'll just, put it in the fridge. I won't even wrap it up because I know in an hour or two I'm going to be, feeling hungry again, depending on what I ate. I have learned that, for me, I'm eating every 3 hours.
Yeah, and it'll change with your ovulation. Have you noticed? Well, you haven't been in reality that long yet.
No,
with your
I should be
cycle.
Ovulating now. I should get my period within 2 weeks.
Okay, so you need to start checking that because as your progesterone and estradiol are up right now, you're not as hungry. In about 3 to 4 days right before your period, those two hormones take a nosedive, and so does leptin.
Yeah.
So your need for food goes up at that point.
Yeah, and I had that happen right when I was finishing the protocol.
Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
That's really important that you know that there is hormonal increase in need for food right before your period, and you should not battle it. You shouldn't feel bad about it, and it has nothing to do with lack of self-restraint.
Yeah.
You're hungry. You should eat more.
Yeah.
And you may need more powerful foods hormonally, which would be the starches.
Yeah.
More fruit, more of the stuff that increases your leptin more.
Yeah,
you just
and that
need
makes
more.
sense. And I've really been eating what I want to eat. And that's what's amazing to me is I'm not wanting to eat the crap I used to eat. Not because it's bad for me, because I don't see it as bad. I see better choices. You know, it's like the eating with intelligence that you talk about. It's because I actually don't want it. I can never imagine myself eating a Big Mac again. A burger, sure, but it's going to be at a really nice restaurant, the best burger I can find.
I know, because you are putting more value on flavor.
Yeah.
And because if you're only eating with hunger, this is what I tell everybody. This is how I feel about it. If I have the food accessible and the money to pay for it, okay,
Yeah.
sometimes I don't, you know, and I end up eating something that just wasn't worth it, but I have to have it to get my leptin levels to get back to normal.
Yeah.
You know. However, if you have the choice and you're only eating with hunger, man, it better be freaking good, because you wait for that hunger and you're eating very little. You know, it just you're limiting that food.
Yeah.
Whether
like
it's
being smart
whether it's good or not. So man, it better be good and good for you.
Yeah. It's like how you spend your money. It's the hunger to me is the same thing. You know, I don't want to waste my money on this. I'd rather get something that's going to, you know, have more return in it for me.
If you're going to buy those shoes and they're expensive, you're going to wear them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to wear them a lot. I started, even the way I even see my food and keep it, like I got some nuts, and I found what are my favorite nuts, which are macadamia, almond, and some pistachio and some cashew, this mix I get at Trader Joe's. And before, I would like throw them in a bag and kept some in my purse, because I do always keep nuts on me. I would say 95% of the time. My nuts are in a glass container.
Because they need to be crunchy.
Yeah, they need to be crunchy. I don't want them, you know, all tasting like plastic. You know, and it's in my purse in a little glass container. My husband totally laughs at me, but I'm like, hey, these are my nuts. You know?
That's right. Well, I think that's so important. I don't know. A lot of times people take this as, you know, functional eating is boring. It's like, no. If you're going to have bacon, it needs to be really good, thick bacon.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what I mean? That's not what it is about. It's really